Hello, hello. Welcome, Zanti. Welcome, South Africa. This is your home of the latest trends. You're watching TrendingSA right here on S3, and we're about to open up that conversation, right? We've got the hottest trending stories locked. They're ready to just roll out. We're ready to serve you. So, my name is Mo Flavor, and helping me to bring you tonight, Flavor, is the queen of satire. She is incomparable. She is amazing. Her name is Lesego Tlabi.
Hi guys, and if you don't have enough of me, tune in to S1 for Upetina Wetu. It's my first episode tonight. Please join.
See what I mean? See what I mean? Levels. And then, of course, the man who rules over it all. Everywhere the light touches. It's Maple, the emperor of Umlazi.
The only member of this table whose royal title is not linked to a job. On that note, it's time for Top Trends.
Baby.
All right, so the people's doctor and radio personality, Cindy van Zyl, has been battling a COVID-19 related complication since February. I mean, her family reported that she was in between medical aids when she suddenly needed intense medical care, including a ventilator that cost 150,000 Rand a week. I mean, that is wild. And of course, this past weekend, her husband, Marinus van Zyl, made an impassioned plea to you and I, South Africans, as the public, to assist Dr. Cindy in these mounting medical bills with donations of any kind. And this can be done, of course, through her trust, the hashtag Gift Cindy Life. Now, friend and Dr. _Lee or Lovely took to social media with this to say. It is our beloved, as Cindy van Zyl's birthday tomorrow. There's only one gift Cindy needs right now, the gift of life. Her family is appealing to you to show her the love she's shown you. Hashtag Gift Cindy Life. And you can send her flowers or gifts by donating. There's a link there at quickit.co.za.
Now, South Africans truly rallied together alongside multiple well-known companies that Dr. Cindy works with, raising close to 1.5 million Rand for Dr. Cindy's medical bills. Now, guys, I mean, first of all, I'd like to say we wish Dr. Cindy well, personally. I love you, Dr. Cindy. Please get better. But I really do think that South African healthcare is way too expensive. And I think that also puts it in a position where it's almost classist. And if you look at who is in a lower class in terms of finances, it's black. So also racist. I don't understand why medication has to be this expensive. It's very exclusive. You can't be rich in order to live.
I just want to talk to the people that were, because this came out on Twitter and we started rallying behind it because we love Dr. Cindy. She's given us free medical advice on Twitter. She's always there for everybody. I just want to talk to the people that were there talking about how she's a doctor, why can't she afford it, and all of that. And for me, I don't know where we've gotten, as black people, I'm just going to speak for my people. We know that when we are in a space where we are giving, or we are in a space of grief or whatever, we just focus on that and we leave everything else that's happening on the side. And there's this thing now on Twitter of everybody wanting to chime in. And I just think some of you, and that's what I just need to say. Just keep quiet. It's not a debit order. We are just donating to somebody that we love.
And if you don't want to give, don't give.
Don't give.
It's got to come from the heart. And I'm actually glad that there are so many people that are willing to help Dr. van Zyl. Because if you think about it, she's, an incredible person to many of us, career-wise, you name it. So she's built a great network of people that in this time of need that she finds herself in, her currency is actually keeping her alive. It's giving her hope, through all the donations that are coming through. So I think it's a great advantage. And it's also scary to think that if you don't have the social currency that she has, what does that mean for your medical care if you find yourself in a similar situation?
Yeah. It's rough out there. Speaking of rough places, the gloves were off this past weekend at the DA camp after two former DA leaders, Tony Leon and Mmusi Maimane, had a fiery exchange. This came after Tony Leon, in a sit-down interview for his upcoming book, Future Tense, called Mmusi Maimane an experiment that went wrong. Mmusi was quick with this reply. He said, hey, uri experiment ke mang wa itlagisa ebile wa tella inklik unjoela gabe. I'm a human being, not your science study.
Well, Leon's sentiments launched an avalanche of backlash, and many political figures came to Mmusi's defense with these Helen, I can't believe I said Ma. Helen had this to say: for me, the real experiment was the attempt to leapfrog 3 election cycles between 2016 and 2019. That mad experiment, which crashed badly, was cooked up by 3 white males, one of whom was American. Kels was trying to come through there. Anyway, Floyd Shivambu didn't mince his words with this. Experiment that went wrong isn't the thing the slave owner deep levels of racism which refused to recognize black people as human beings. Mmusi was certainly a collaborating puppet, but to call it an experiment, it's open, unadulterated racism that undermines all black people. And the last tweet from Herman says, Tony Leon has gone too far this time. I know and reject that he doesn't represent the majority of peace-loving, non-racial South Africans. Mo, I know I can see your fingers are tapping. You're ready for a comment. What do you think of all this?
I mean, here's the thing. If you look at the history of the DA, right, particularly with Tony Leon, it is actually quite disturbing to hear him say these things, because the DA has positioned itself now from where it was before as a party for all. They've come out strongly when you look at, gunning for the black vote, and even some of the areas they've won via election and so on. Now, all of a sudden, you have a former leader who I believe still has influence in that party, even though he may not necessarily be active, saying something like that. It almost makes you wonder about what's been going on there. Is what the DA is standing for now just a charade? Is it just a smokescreen?
Yeah, the answer is yes. For me, personally, I feel like I don't think they're unraveling. I think this is what they've always been about. I think they used the getting the black vote, speaking in vernac, getting leaders like Mmusi and Mbali to hide their real intentions. This has really always been what the DA has been about. I don't think they're unraveling. I think they're finally exposing themselves. And Mmusi, sorry, babes, but we've been trying to tell you all along, this is what the DA has been about. I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings, but it shouldn't really be surprising. Come on.
When these things come out with these political parties and everybody starts rallying around and saying all these things, and I'm just like, guys, this is a dirty game. Everyone is playing. We are pawns. The fact that we're speaking about them right now is making them happy, because some people are getting happy from other factions or other parties that we're coming for this party. But the whole thing is a dirty game. Mmusi was playing this very dirty game and he got burnt. And other people from other parties are also playing. We've seen people actually being ousted at other parties as well because they played the game. It didn't work out for them. So, hey.
Sure.
I also think right now it pays to be outright. The DA was going with the non-racialism, which isn't a term that even makes sense, and now it pays to be outright. So, sorry, Moose. Moving right along, acclaimed British actress famously known as Tandy Newton has announced that she'll be reverting back to her full Nguni name Tandiwe after years of it being misspelled by the film industry. Tandiwe has been very vocal about racism and abuses of power she faced over her nearly 3-decade-long career. The actress, who graces the May cover of British Vogue, said in the interview, "I'm taking back what's mine." And she continued to say, "The thing I am most grateful for right now in the business is being in the company of others who truly see me, and to not be complicit in the objectification of black people who are seen as others, which is what happens when you're the only one."
So many people on the timeline lauded her for embracing her full name, with Umasibanda weighing in with this. Good for Tandiwe. Reclaiming your name, your identity, and your story is important for all of us. And then Ms. Zamandlovu said this. Said, Tandiwe Newton's story is resonating with me because from workplace to workplace, I've had to fight for my full name. Why is your surname in your name? Then it gets shortened to my nickname. Sometimes I just get tired, even though I don't like seeing it shortened on signatures.
Yeah, I feel like I feel sorry for Tandy, first of all. I definitely understand and relate to the story, because I think for the first time, she's now knowing what it's like to be a black person. Tandy kind of is a mixed race, and she lives in the line where people don't really see her as black. She's always had white friends, white relationships. So I think for the first time, maybe with Black Lives Matter, the conversations that are happening around Meghan Markle, she's also quite surprised to now be in the space where she's like, oh, I have to confront the blackness and what it means, and learning about her other side and her identity and being Tandiwe and what that means, and that our names to us aren't just what a fluffy thing that they call us. It's a history, it's a story, it's a lineage, and it's a plan and a hope that your parents have for you. So now she's finally getting there. Oh, I could go on for a long time.
I don't agree at all. And listen, okay, I partly agree with some of the things that you've said about it's important to find your identity. I get that. But we need to also consider that these are people that have PR managers that are in Hollywood, and those people have been naughty from the beginning of time. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm seeing a trend where it's now cool to be associated with Africa, where it's now cool to be an African. We see it Wakanda forever. We're seeing Beyonce coming through. And most of these people that are doing these things, guys, are monetizing them. And for me, I don't get it when people are now talking about this whole thing, when we had people like Talib Kweli, we had people like Mos Def who were about their Africanness and moving it, but it wasn't cool enough for all these people to come through and be part of this continent. So it's...
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I believe it can never be too late. If Thandi has now decided that this is the moment to find out who I am, to find out about my roots, then go for it. Look at people like Samuel L. Jackson. He had a whole documentary, Enslaved, right, where he went to his roots on the continent, I think it was Gabon, to find out who he is. So it's never too late. And if Thandi wants to make a whole movie about it, a docu, go ahead and do it, baby.
I do have one thing to say, even with that point. Sometimes in this industry, first of all, you're not allowed to speak out. Otherwise, you look like the angry black woman all the time. And second of all, sometimes it takes a long time to know thyself. If I was surrounded by white people at school, I was called Lee for a long time. I only realized later, actually, I want to be Lesotho because it means so much more. And it took me a long time to get my voice out.
I just wish that Mmusi Maimane changes his name to Thandi Newton so that he can get this support on this table, because he went to the DA and came back and found himself. We still have more trends coming your way. We'll see you after this short break.
Welcome back to Ta on 3. Now, hashtag Bantu Holomisa popped up on the timeline. This is after he tweeted this.
Okay, I'll handle this for you more. I see a language there. There might be a language there. This implosion is going to affect us all. Interim government till 2024 might save us from comrades in corruption. ANC must hand over power to the Concord, which would structure such an interim arrangement. Masixoxe lento ingekasityi sonke.
Very, very touching stuff. A lot of people had a lot to say. I mean, this tweet comes on the back of the recent ANC-NEC meeting, which effectively came to a decision that members facing allegations of corruption, misbehaving, or anything like that need to step down within 30 days, as well as reports that Ace Magashule supporters are allegedly planning a whole national shutdown.
So the general's tweet and his calls to have the upcoming local elections postponed sent social media ablaze with lots of mixed reactions from people questioning the constitutionality.
I should have taken
constitutionality. You should have taken that one of it all. With Leslie Mapanga saying, Honorable Olomisa, what you're saying is more than intelligent advice to South African citizens. I wish all parties can stand up for support, including the Concord. Thumbs up for brilliant words. And then this was Uzenia saying, no matter how disgruntled we are, democratic order should never be threatened.
Well, I mean, there's absolutely no denying that our country is marred by many issues. I mean, from PPE tender scandals, cease to load shedding, disappointing, maladministration, nienzani, mismanaging funds. And as well as all these explosive testimonies, we cannot forget that at the high-profile state capture inquiry, we've seen so many people being hauled in there. And I just want to know, I mean, what do you think this arrangement should be all about? What do you think it should create, this interim government, this interim arrangement? And what do you see happening in terms of the leadership? You know, is there anybody that you'd like to see in charge, running the thing? And what are some of the issues that maybe we need to address if it were to come to be?
Okay, I would actually want a woman-led party. So I remember on April Fool's Day, Mbali Ntuli, and I'm not sure if it's an April Fool's joke or not, had tweeted that her, Wendy Applebaum, Tuli Madonsela, I'm not sure who the fourth person was, we're going to start a woman-led party, young women or younger women, to address the issues that are facing women. I think GBV is a big one for me. So I would like that to be the first mandate that we address. Women-led, not all the women that were in that grouping, but I think Mbali Ntuli can take it and rework some of the members she's chosen.
Sure, promotion.
yeah, right there. I just want to address the issues of service delivery. It's actually, it's sad that we have people in 2021 in South Africa, our land, who don't have water and electricity and toilets. So, and to lead this party, I would actually have the most sympathetic people that we have in this world. I would have members of the transgender community. I think those people actually can run this country with empathy.
Why do I get the feeling I can really taste this interim arrangement?
Who is yours?
Who's
But
yours?
we're waiting for you.
You know, the issue of inequality is always going to be there. And I know we talk about it all the time, but it's real. You look at the living conditions of people, you look at what people have to go through in the economy, the imbalances in terms of pay, in terms of the opportunities that people get. So if this interim situation is to ever come about, it's got a lot of work to do.
Who would you vote for? Hlaudi Motsoeneng?
Well, as my former boss,
Okay, I'm going to end this now. We should start a party as well. Like maybe just like a groovist party where we just like...
and I'm happy to be the SG on
I think you're the president, honestly.
because hey, I'm an SG always within, you know.
But I would be like the Julius member. I know I'd be we call ourselves the BCCSA. Anyway, so I stumbled upon this tweet on my timeline. Take a look. Chris Excel, the things of the catfish of this account. Anyway, a relationship that started with sex has higher chances of making it. Lento yenu yama restaurant and let's get to know each other dates don't last. Have sex first day and stop wasting time, resources and energy. As provocative tweets go, it got the people going. Michael Butwa, Mr. Smeg had this to say: sex is the beginning and the end. Sex matters. So I don't know if y'all have an opinion on this.
I've got it.
I definitely do. First of all, I become to you, Bipes. I just want to say, respect is not found in our nether regions as women. So
What's nether region?
I'm not losing my jewel for this.
Your-
thing.
okay.
Your flower, your garden, your whatever. It's not tied to respect. So please stop thinking that waiting a certain amount of time means something to anyone.
Okay, I want to, you see, I love it when this 90-day thing comes up, this 90-day rule that people have. Listen to me. Men are very patient. We are the most patient beings in the world. We will wait to 90 days and we'll Janet Jackson you on day 91 and we'll go, we are done once we've gotten what we want. And the thing is, the one thing that people don't get about us as men is that we know when we see you the first time whether we want to establish a relationship or we want to do a hit and run. We know this.
The same with us.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop taking autonomy from women. Women know too. Mo?
I mean, here's the thing, right? And this has got to do with what we attach to sex. This thing called love. And then something else we attach to sex is this obligation that just because we've hit it off, that now I need to stay. And I think it comes a lot with that. And that's why people are scared to sometimes say, no, we can't do it on the first day because somehow I'm obliged to stay. I've got to stay after there's no way I can just and leave. I've got to stay. Really?
You know, I just
Hit
wish
and
people
quit.
actually understood, Guti, they attach too much to that act.
Let's just have it.
So we also
and
asked
enjoy
you,
it.
we also asked you at home, do you think that the 90-day rule is still a thing in modern day society? Well, Theodore said, nope. These days it depends with the vibe, energy you get from the partner. And then Utsaki Hype said, I don't think the 90-day rule still applies to our generation. We are a generation that wants things to happen so quick. We are so impatient.
Who said our grandparents waited? How do we know?
Don't say that about our grandparents. So the 90-day rule ain't working these days. Once they give you their number, you're dating. Hi, guys. Hi.
I just think that the 90-day rule is rubbish because guys will wait until day 91 to ruin your life.
Yeah, they do.
If they want to. And also women, stop thinking it as something you're giving away. It's something to enjoy for yourself. It's just as much for you as it is for them. In fact, think of it as taking it.
Actually,
Now,
don't
it's
just
take.
limit it to women because we live in the
For
society
sure, but I'm
that we
talking
live
to
in.
people that were shamed for
Yeah,
it. We're shamed
listen,
for it.
you are not giving anything to anyone. It is a mutual act. Everybody is bringing something to the table and everybody is enjoying themselves.
Takers and givers and more takers.
Both we'll take it. Anyway, we're going for a quick ad break. And when we come back, we will PG it down again as our besties at Vodacom are taking humanity into the future with their new Further Together campaign. I will speak properly in segment 3, I promise. We'll be right back. Let me have some more of that.
So what you gonna say? You gonna say I'm lying? I am the one who's
Welcome to Town 3. Our friends at Vodacom are committed to the purpose of connecting everyone for a better future. As technology advances, our society evolves, and so does our reason for being. Vodacom believes that technology is nothing without humanity, and when we use tech for good, we go further. Together.
I have some questions. Some big questions. Can we hate less and share more love? Can we keep going until we cure every disease? Can we make sure nobody is left behind? Can we find the courage to go further than we have gone? Can we change our ways before it's too late? Can we push our limits beyond the sky? With technology and humanity, we can go further together. Vodacom.
Now, the new brand tagline, Further Together, places an emphasis on how, through partnerships and collaboration, it's possible to connect everyone to the digital economy so that no one is left behind. It's about our relentless spirit to progress, and if we can break boundaries, we can inspire change. We would like every South African to take up the call to believe, to act, and to go further together.
So throughout the week, we'll be delving into Vodacom Further Together campaign as we introduce you to various Vodacom deals, products, and most importantly, we'll be telling you more about how Vodacom uses technology to advance humanity. So go further with South Africa's leading network. Follow hashtag Further Together on all platforms.
Yay.
And just like that, it is a wrap. But before we go, big things have been happening on television.
They have.
SABC 3. Or should I say S3 with the estate, right? And then we've also got our very own
S1,
thespian.
7:30 tonight, my first episode, but yesterday was the
Is this your first
episode.
acting job?
This is my first, well, it's my first acting job outside of Kells.
That's
So now
not an
I'm
acting
like,
job.
Kells is the character I'm acting. I mean, I'm telling you I was acting.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, I'm an actress now, finally.
Aw.
Finally, we did it.
Welcome to the land of
Oh,
thespians.
good.
Yes,
Oh, good.
welcome to the land.
Speaking of first, right? I had a cameo in Upetina,
He's going to be on
right?
the show too.
I'm not even sure which ep. I don't want to ruin it. But my first ever cameo appearing as myself. I didn't
That's how
realize
famous you are.
that
That's how famous
it
you
is
are.
so hard to be myself.
Can the people, can the people at the estate please write a role for me? Because I'm not going to hear the end of this. Can I have a role on the estate? I'm a good villain.
Maybe
I'm
we
really...
can interview on the estate, like interview the estate people, like as trending.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
say,
story.
No, I want a proper role on the estate. Please write a role for me. Ngiyacela. I'm coming there.
In the
I'm available.
meantime, S1 Ubetina Wetu, because he's taking away from my show once again. S1, 7:30, Ubetina Wetu.
It's beautiful though, because you've got talent that we've never seen before on our screens. Then we've got the tried and tested, the legends also coming together on all these excellent shows. So big up to all the
And
actors.
the quality, man,
The
the quality
quality.
is so dope. Like watching these
Sure.
shows last night, I was just like, I finally feel like South African TV, hi Gabi, but is back in some sort of place where we're making international quality shows.
You gotta love it. Stars all over, and just like that, we have to say goodbye. We've arrived to another end of another thrilling episode of Trending SA right here on S3. But you know what? We'll be back again tomorrow serving you the latest trends. So good night, Mzansi.